Hi guys, welcome to another dice unboxing video with me, Luke from Dakota Irish. So the last dice unboxing video I did, I wasn't too happy with the quality of that video for a number of reasons. And so I invested in a stand for my smartphone, and now I have two hands and a non-shaky video. So thumbs up for that. Um, also, one of the things that I didn't like about the last dice unboxing video was that the background kind of was a little bit distracting, and so I've kind of made this a little bit more flat and a little bit easier, hopefully, for you guys to see the dice on. I'm actually in the new shop at the minute, and while I'm really super excited to show you guys that shop, I can't show you just yet. It'll have to happen in another video because we're not done with it. It's very rough at the minute, so yeah, we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, here soon enough, we'll be able to show it to you. And also, one other thing is, don't mind the road noise. We're right on a major road, and there tends to be a lot of road noise, so apologies for that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this dice unboxing video. So, the last one was gemstone dice, and I really wasn't happy with some of the things on the gemstone dice, particularly the quality of the engravings and the quality of the ink job. So, the dice themselves and the actual engraving of the dice and creation of the dice wasn't a big deal for me. It was more kind of the finer touches that I wasn't too happy with. Now, I say I wasn't too happy. That's kind of a relative thing to say, right? Those dice were 100% handcrafted from start to finish, and then the numbers on them were engraved by hand in some cases as well. So there are you can kind of get where some of maybe things weren't perfect. That's fine. But I think for the most part, a lot of you guys felt like the price point for these dice, which would have been about 150 to 180 euro, which is probably close to $200, was a little high. In fact, actually, I had someone who would probably be considered quite a dice collector who would be interested in these things, kind of pass at that price point as well. So to be honest, I also really wasn't too happy with that price point, and I thought we can do better. I knew I was going to sacrifice some of the handcrafted elements of it, but I felt like, hey, let's see what we can do and get to a better price point on it. So I found another supplier that I really liked the look of some of their dice and their engravings, and I asked them to do up 5 samples for me of 5 different gemstone dice that I really liked. And that's what we're going to look at now. So just a caveat, I did have to take them out of the box first because I needed to check to make sure that they weren't damaged or anything like that in transit, but everything's fine. I didn't really look too deeply into them. This is kind of my first look at them. It was just to make sure there were no obvious chippings or whatever. And also, to be honest, it's very difficult through plastic to see them. So I'm really excited to check out what we've got. So first off, we have Purple Fluorite, which is a really fantastic dice set from the last set. I really liked it. So I'm excited to see what we've got for this one. Amethyst. Amethyst was probably the most popular dice set of the 3 that I had before, just because of the pure darkness of it. So I'm excited to see kind of what that one looks like. Green Fluorite, which was also one of the last ones. Now, one of the new ones, Rose Quartz. This is one of the ones I thought I had gotten last time, and I didn't, so I made sure to get it this time. I really love Rose Quartz. I had a set of Rose Quartz and Purple Fluorite chess set when I was younger, and it was fantastic, and I loved it. And the last one here is Lapis Lazuli. So Lapis Lazuli is a really underrated stone, I think. You can see the blue through the plastic. It has a really vibrant blue, and in fact, so much so it was used by Egyptians during the Egyptian dynasties to make elaborate jeweled necklaces and artifacts like that. It's a really fantastic and I think underrated semi-precious stone. And last but not least, free samples. So these are samples that they've decided to send on to me. See one there, was blue sandstone and luminous blue. I don't know what that means, but anyway, we'll check it out. So we're going to take a look at that as well. So these are the 6 that we've got to look at. And I think we're going to start off with the Purple Fluorite. So I'll move all these bad boys over here. Now, I won't go through all the dice, even though that wouldn't be a bad idea. It's just that, it's an unboxing video, so I don't want to spend too much time with each of them. But, yeah. Okay, we'll start off with the D4, shall we? We'll stick with D4s. Yeah. Okay. So here's the D4. And right off the bat, you can see some of the inclusions on the dice, which is pretty fantastic. I like the inclusions a lot. It's one of my favorite things about gemstone dice, actually, because it's almost like they're plastic, but instead of being plastic, they're obviously they're stone. First thing that really catches my eye is the polishing job. It is fantastic. The other thing that catches my eye about these is that the numbers on the bottom, which is some people will hate or love. I'm not totally sure which, but some, I don't mind it. It never bothered me. In fact, actually, I think it kind of fits well and it lets you see a lot of the stone. Look at the inclusions in there. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Oh man, I love gemstone dice. These things are fantastic. I'll talk about the price point at the end of the video, but I have to say for what these are, and for the price point, I think they're fantastic. So just to talk a little bit about the process with these. So that's the D4, right? The process with these is that they're kind of manufacturer, handcrafted. So the dice are CNC'd, I think, from the stone itself, so that you get really consistent shapes and consistent angles and stuff, which I think is really important for dice. So that's why I was actually kind of excited to see that. And also then the engraving is done by a machine, which means you get really consistent, good-looking engravings. And again, apologies for the dirtiness of my nails. I'm a craftsman, so my nails tend to be dirty all the time. So yeah, apologies for that. You can see the green mixed through the purple fluorite, which I really like. I think it makes for a really fantastic looking stone. Yeah, and look at the consistency of the numbers, and really the ink job as well, especially compared to the last one. The ink job is just fantastic. Now, this set is, and I'm just going to caveat with this because she did warn me, this set is their kind of base standard font that they have. I don't mind it, but you're going to see in the next ones, I actually requested a different font. The reason that she couldn't give it to me on the purple fluorite was because they had an issue, I think, with the engraver at the time or something. So she just sent me the sets that they had. But still really impressed with the engravings of them, and I'm really impressed with the polish. Look at the polish on it. It's really good. You can actually see my fingerprints in there. So that's the D20. I'm really impressed with that set. I really like it. One of the things that strikes me about this one versus the other one is that the other one had, in purple fluorite, had the banding, but it wasn't as pronounced as this one. And I think that's really going to excite some people because I know they were asking me about the banding in purple fluorite. Yeah, I think that's going to really excite some people. It's really fantastic. So that's purple fluorite. I won't go and show you all of them, but if you're interested in one of these sets and you wanted a bit more kind of information from them, happy to go through and show them to you if you want to. But I don't think it's going to be, the price point for these isn't going to be nearly as bad as the last one, so I think it's going to be a little bit easier to get into these. So that's purple fluorite. Happy with that now. Really happy with that. I like the purple fluorite. I love the banding. Yeah. So purple fluorite. Next one we're going to look at is going to be, we'll wait for the others. We'll look at the green fluorite. So I'll be honest, the last set of green fluorite, I was kind of a little bit disappointed in them. Not a huge amount, but it was just kind of they were very pale. There wasn't a huge amount of green in them. And like when you were seeing them in person, you could see the green, but they were very pale, especially in pictures. This one though, the green comes out really well, and look at the inclusions in that. Yeah, that is fantastic looking. So see the font and how it's different. This is the font I requested. This is my font, I suppose, my chosen font that I'm going to be having on any kind of unique dice sets that are created for me. Now, not every dice set can have them because plastic ones use molds and things like that. And that gets expensive to create new molds with new font. But anytime I can get a custom font without it creating too much of a financial burden, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be using this one. So this is actually called Gabriella font. And I absolutely love it. I love the 4s and I love the 2s and just love everything about it. So this is a D4, really loving the inclusions in it and the color, and yeah, it's fantastic. I love that a lot. Okay, and actually you can kind of see it against the dark there. I don't know, let's try to zoom in a bit there for you guys. No, it lights up right away. Like for me, because the camera's not obviously changing for my eyes. It like lights up when it's on there and the light comes through it. Oh, it looks fantastic. You can kind of see. Okay, so that's the D4 for green fluorite. Now I'm just going to quickly look at the D20. Okay, so here's the D20. And that's kind of cool because they're all basically right at the top. So that should be the same for all of them, I hope. Again, look at the font on it, man. Look at the inclusions and the color. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, man. This is fantastic. Look at the color, the clarity through this portion of it as well. That is fantastic. I have to say, it's really hard. I mean, the camera is doing a really good job of picking some of this up. But I mean, if you look at this in person, wow. And just look at the engraving job. Such a fantastic engraving job and inking job. Look at the D20 there. I'll zoom in. Yep. Just look at the 19. Oh, man. Wow. Okay, I have to say, I think I'm in love with the green fluorite. The purple fluorite was lovely as well, but I really like that green fluorite. So, that's green fluorite. It almost is luminescent in the light right now, which is really cool. Let's go ahead and go with the amethyst now. Since those are kind of the three originals, then we'll look at the two new ones. So, yeah, it's exactly as I thought. They packed them basically the same. So this D4 is the first one out. There we go. So I'm kind of nervous to see these because the last set, it was an extremely dark purple. And I can already tell this one definitely got the purple in it, but it's not as dark looking as the other one. It's still really nice though. Oh man, look at that. With the purple through that. This one's fairly dark actually. Now that I look at it, it's very dark. Oh, and I love the inclusions through there. Oh, it's fantastic. I won't go anymore because the engraving and the inking jobs are really good. So I'm happy with that. And then that's a D6. Where's the D20? Oh, D20, there it is. Some of you were probably like, show me the D6. Fine, I will show you the D6. Oh, I put it back in there. I'll quickly show you the D6 then. Oh my God. It's so difficult to pull these apart. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's really nice. Oh man, it looks even better. The font looks even better up close when it's big like this. It just looks fantastic. Look at the font. I just love this font. Yeah, that looks really good. Love the inclusions as well. That's really nice. It's almost like purple fluorite in some ways. That mix, yeah, it's kind of hard to distinguish. The purple fluorite I can see with my eyes anyway is a little bit lighter. Doesn't have as dark of a hue as the amethyst, but let's see here now with the D20. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. Do you know what I love about these as well is that the numbers aren't quite centered on them, and that's because it's all done manually, right? So when they engrave these, it's not like it goes through a machine and automatically, they have to hand engrave them. So they set them up and they set them under the thing and it comes down and it goes, and engraves it out. And the other thing you have to be careful with stone is that when you engrave, it's really easy to chip it and stuff. And so it's very obvious that they're being very careful with that because there's no chipping or breakage around the numbers. And that's something I was warned about with gemstone dice is really to look at the engraving. That tells you the kind of the quality of what they're producing. And this is fantastic. This is really fantastic. And I love the fonts so much. Okay. So that's amethyst. So really happy with that now, I have to say. Really, really happy with that. And we will put that back in there like that. And there we go. So that is amethyst. Okay. So the next one is rose quartz. I have to admit that I'm super excited to see these because I haven't. I know what the rose quartz looked like on my chess set that I had, but yeah. Oh man, look at it. Oh, it looks fantastic. Look at that. It's like this lovely pink color, and it's really hard to pick up on the phone, I think. It looks almost skin colorish here, but if you can see it in real life, it's It's this really lovely pink. I love it. Oh, there we go. I love it. I love it. Yep. And everything is just perfect about the engravings on it as well. Okay, that's the D4. Whoops. Come here, D4. Actually, what's cool about quartz has a really high hardness as well. So, this one should be, a lot easier. And it's funny because, people worry about inclusions, right? I told you a second ago there and before that I had a rose quartz chess set. And, that chess set, the board itself was rose quartz as well. And I mean, you'd be like going like this, right? And not a single crack on that set. And that set had inclusions galore, right? So it's really the thing about when you're rolling gemstone dice, it's not that they won't crack. There's always the chance that you might hit off something hard enough to crack it, but you do have to hit it off something harder than itself to crack it, right? And generally speaking, you're not going to run into things that are a lot harder than the gemstones you have, except for maybe the fluorites because they're like a 4. But on the Mohs scale, they're like a 4. Look at this. The gold with the rose quartz is just the money. Look at that. I'm in love with gemstone dice. Wow, that's fantastic. Yep. I am. And it's really funny, right? Because you can't see this in real life. If you could, it's like with the dice trays. You almost have to see these things in real life to be able to understand how damn pretty they are. Like the gold on that is fantastic. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these in here. Oh, look at that. D20. 6 to D20, or D12, excuse me, D20. 6 to D12. Okay. So the last set is Lapis Lazuli. And this set, so I've seen rose quartz before, but I've never actually held Lapis Lazuli. So I'm kind of geeking out a little bit about holding Lapis Lazuli. So that's this one here. Because I've not seen this one before. Okay, let's dump it out because the last one, the thing is a bit odd. Wow, the blue is really vibrant. Holy crap. Go let's start off with D4 again. What's funny about these ones is, I just noticed this. With my font, they put the D4 up in the corner. And with their original one, they put it down at the bottom. Oh my God. Can you see the gold in it? That I really wasn't expecting that. So these little flecks here, that's gold flecks. Like, I don't know if that's just, it's hard to see with the camera, but God, that is fantastic. What a set. Wow. Okay. That is, I'm totally biased because I ordered the sets of the gemstones that I love the most. So I was gonna love them anyway, unless there was something really wrong with them. But I am super impressed by these sets of dice, especially considering my main concern with the last one was consistency, and that was due to the fact that it was handcrafted, and that concern is gone because, oh wow, look at that. That is super cool. Look at the cool inclusion there around it. Wow. Guys. Wow. Lapis Lazuli. Yep. That is best girl dice right there. Not that dice are girl or boy, but I'm just, making a little anime reference there for anybody who's an anime head. Excuse me, I'm sick, apparently. I just decided to snuffle there at that point when it was quiet. Okay. So, guys, I am super impressed with Lapis Lazuli. I am in love with that set big time. That is a really fantastic looking set. I'd say all the sets are really fantastic. I think, oh, I want to look at that, sorry. This D10 is more blue than the other ones. Or maybe it just caught the light properly. I don't know. Yeah, okay. All right. Ooh, wow. Look at that. Whoa. Guys, that is the money right there. Wow, this set of dice just blew me away. I thought the lapis lazuli was gonna be cool, but I did not expect some of that. The gold flex in it, and then like the vibrancy of the blue. Holy crap! Okay, yep, I'm in love with the lapis lazuli. Okay, guys, so that's the sets that I ordered. Now the next sets, these are sample ones that she sent me just to, probably, well, as they do, to pique my interest to see, do I want to order some other ones. So I'm just going to take a look at these all individually. So this is opalite. Opalite is quite popular on the market. I've seen it around. That's kind of why I didn't go for it, is because I've seen a lot of it, and it's lovely, but I just didn't really want to I wasn't sure that I wanted to go in and try and compete, but ooh, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. You see the coloring on there? Whoa. That is really cool. Opalite was one I was considering stocking, all right. But I think a lot of people have them now. But anyway, that's really nice. I like that. That's opalite. I love getting free dice. Yay, free dice. Luminous aqua. So this company also does synthetic stones. None of the ones I showed you were synthetic, though. I only went for full gemstone dice. So I'd say with the synthetic ones, they're probably like, I don't know, do they glow? Do they? Yeah, look, there you go. You can see the glow in there. Yeah, so they glow up. That's kind of cool, though, for a stone dice. Got a good weight to it. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the stone dice is they're as expensive. Even more so expensive than the regular dice, right? So it was kind of in the opinion that it probably wasn't the best option for gemstone dice, because I mean, if it's going to be the same amount, would you not just go for a normal stone? I don't know. Anyway, maybe you guys have a different opinion on that. I'd love to hear about it. She sent luminous blue. Oh yeah, luminous green. So I'm assuming these ones are just, they go up blue and go up green. So this one was luminous aqua, which looked blue to me. Let's see what luminous blue looks like, shall we? I'm pretty sure that's green. It's 100% green. She obviously mislabeled them. I'd say that the aqua, that one was meant to be blue. Oh well. It's still pretty cool that it glows up green. This manufacturer does not do any kind of plastic dice. So these are all stones, right? Synthetic stones. Okay, there's aqua. I'd say that's aqua because that's like a greeny blue color. Yeah. Okay. So it's funny they mislabeled them. Yeah. So what they're probably doing there is they're putting in the what do they call it? The photoluminescent material inside when they do the stone. I don't really know what their ideas of these are, but they're still kind of cool. I don't know. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Glow-in stone dice, cool? Not cool? They're synthetic anyway. So, and then the final one is blue sandstone, which I have to admit is a cool color. I saw it before. I kind of liked it. It's a D20. Ooh, show me D20. Whoa! I did not expect that. That stuff is glittering. That's obviously synthetic again. But that is still really wicked. Look at that. That is cool. Dude, I may have to make this as like a plastic set. This is fantastic. Look at that. I don't know. Is it cooler as a stone or would it be cooler as resin? I don't know. But man, look at that. Well, do you know what? This is a great one to end on because that is fantastic. I did not expect that at all. Wow. Okay. Cool. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Loved your input into what you think of these different sets and what you guys think kind of the the sample sets as well, which I'll sit over here. Let me know what you think, guys. So for most of these, the price range is going to range from probably 50 to 60 euro, which is significantly less than the handcrafted ones. And that's because, as I said earlier, they're partly manufactured, partly done by hand. So the engraving part is all done, you have to put it in there by hand and stuff. And and you have to ink it by hand and everything else. So and a hand polished as well. And I actually I think I have pictures and stuff of that as well, because I asked her to show that to me, because I wanted to make sure of it. So that's why they're significantly less expensive. So yeah, these are probably going to run around the 50 to 60 euro for each of these. There might be some variation, because some of the stones might be a little more expensive. I think amethyst is a little more expensive than the other ones, but still pretty darn good, considering it's about less than half of what they were before. The blue sandstone and the synthetic ones are pretty much the same. So if I was to get like a set of the blue sandstone, which is this last one we just looked at, that's probably going to run about the same, 50 or 60. But I have to admit, I wasn't sure about the synthetic stones, but after seeing that one, I'm pretty impressed by it. And the luminescent ones are pretty cool as well. So again, guys, any comments, feedback, thoughts, suggestions, let me know in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Luke, Dakota Irish. These are my gemstones. It's like my hoard. Just like hold it there. Oh, hoard of gems. Yes. Yes, I'm like a dragon hoarding my gems. Thanks, guys.